On a quiet spring evening in 2022, a frantic 911 call shattered the calm of an Austin neighborhood. A woman had just found her friend lying on the bathroom floor, covered in blood. What first appeared to be a robbery gone wrong quickly turned into something far more sinister, a brutal murder that would expose a tangled web of love and jealousy. A case that left an entire community and even the whole state in shock as investigators raced against time to bring the killer to justice. This is the tragic case of Anna Moriah Wilson. Anna Moriah Wilson, mostly known as Mo, was born on May 18, 1996, in Littleton, New Hampshire, in the USA, to Eric and Karen Wilson. She was raised in Kirby, Vermont, where she attended local schools and trained intensely as a competitive alpine ski racer. Before later turning her attention to endurance sports, Anna had one brother, Matthew, who shared her love for athletics. Growing up in an outdoors-loving family, both children were encouraged by their parents to stay active and explore sports from an early age. From 2014 to 2018, Anna studied engineering at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire while continuing to ski competitively. After graduating in 2019, she moved to California for a job as a demand planner with the bike company specialized in Santa Cruz. Despite her busy work and racing life, Anna stayed close to her parents, who continued to fully support her passion for skiing and cycling. In 2021, Anna decided to focus entirely on cycling, taking on gravel and mountain bike races. She quickly earned a name for herself as one of the most promising new riders in the sport. That October, she claimed victory at the Big Sugar Gravel Race in Arkansas. During the celebration afterward, she met Caitlin Cash, an enthusiastic fan from the Austin cycling community who had traveled to Bentonville for the race. Impressed by Anna's talent and determination, Caitlin had been following her progress and was thrilled to meet her in person. The two connected instantly and became close friends, staying in touch through the cycling world. By 2022, Anna's career truly took off as she began winning major gravel races. On April 9, 2022, she won the Sea Otter Classic in Monterey, California, and just a few weeks later, on May 1st, she captured another victory at the Belgian Waffle Ride in North Carolina. On May 10, 2022, Anna traveled to Austin, Texas to get ready for the gravel low-cost bike race set for May 14th. Her friend and fan, Caitlin Cash, who lived in Austin and was also a cyclist, offered Anna a place to stay while she prepared for the event. That day, Anna spent her morning working remotely and organizing her race plans. Later, she met fellow cyclist Colin Strickland for a swim at the Deep Eddy Pool. Anna had first met Colin in September 2021 during a race in Idaho. She was drawn to his charm and encouragement, as he often praised her skills and even helped her secure several sponsorships. Colin, in turn, was deeply impressed by Anna, once calling her the best female cyclist in the country and maybe even in the world. Their connection soon turned romantic, but by January of the following year, they had decided to take a break. Even after ending their relationship, they stayed on friendly terms and continued to meet occasionally for rides together. Colin Strickland, born in 1986 and raised in Texas, earned recognition for winning several major gravel races, making him one of the leading figures in endurance cycling. Known for his strong performances and unique racing style, he became a standout competitor in US gravel racing. Colin had been in an on-and-off relationship with Caitlin Armstrong for several years and briefly dated Anna in 2021 during a break from Caitlin. On May 11, 2022, the tragic day, Anna spent time with Colin as they went for a swim and later stopped by Pool Burger, a nearby restaurant, for some food and drinks. That evening, Colin drove Anna back to Cash's home just before 8:30 p.m. At the time, Cash was out having dinner with friends. When she returned around 10 p.m., she was surprised to find the front door unlocked. A wave of unease hit her as she remembered getting a notification from her home app earlier that the door had been opened. She had assumed it was Anna coming back, but as she walked inside, the house felt unnervingly still. Expecting to find Anna resting after her day out, Cash instead came upon a sight that would stay with her for the rest of her life. Cash discovered Anna unconscious and quickly called 911 for help. "Austin 911, what's your emergency?" "My friend is staying with me and I just walked in and she's laying on the bathroom floor and there's blood everywhere," Cash said, her voice shaking with fear as the words spilled out in panic. "Is she awake?" the dispatcher asked calmly. "She's not awake. There's blood all over her face, on the back of her head." "Is she breathing?" "No, she's not breathing," Cash answered. When emergency responders arrived, they found 25-year-old Anna Moriah Wilson lying lifeless on the bathroom floor. The talented young cyclist, who had come from San Francisco to race in Austin's gravel low-cost event, had been shot several times. Officers quickly noticed a detail that filled them with dread. A clear fluid, cerebrospinal fluid, had gathered around Anna's head. This fluid normally cushions the brain, and its presence meant that the bullets had penetrated her skull, killing Anna instantly. There was no chance for rescue or medical help. It was a deliberate and calculated act, and now it was up to Austin police to quickly uncover who was behind it, and most importantly, why. As crime scene investigators searched the house, they soon realized that something important was missing. Anna had brought along her high-end racing bike, valued at around $4,000, a tempting item for any potential thief. One officer was heard saying on the body cam footage that officers were out there searching for it. They even went to check right by the door where she had put it, but the bike was nowhere to be found. At first, investigators believed they were dealing with a robbery that had taken a deadly turn. They suspected someone had tried to steal Anna's valuable gear, she had fought back, and things had spiraled into murder. The theory seemed reasonable, until officers made a discovery in the wooded area behind the house that changed everything. While searching the trees, one officer shouted, "Hey, come here! Somebody might have been here. This could be the bike." And sure enough, there was Anna's racing bike, tossed carelessly into the brush. But something didn't make sense. If theft was the motive, why would the killer abandon the very thing they'd supposedly taken a life for? The truth was far darker. Someone wanted it to look like a robbery. Whoever staged the scene was clever enough to mislead investigators and start hiding evidence right away. The bike hadn't been the target at all. Anna had. From interviews with Caitlin Cash, investigators discovered that Anna had spent her last day with Colin Strickland, a well-known cyclist in the Austin community. The two shared a complicated past. They had dated briefly while Colin was on a break from his girlfriend, Caitlin Armstrong. "When I left here at 5:30, they went swimming," Cash told officers. "The only thing I know is she said, 'I'm meeting him to go swimming.'" That afternoon, Anna and Colin swam at Deep Eddy Pool, then stopped at Pool Burger on South Lamar for dinner. Security footage later showed them chatting and laughing, unaware that someone was secretly keeping an eye on them. Around 8:30 p.m., Colin dropped Anna off at Cash's home. Moments later, he texted Caitlin Armstrong to say he was on his way back. Anna had no idea that she had less than 2 hours left to live. During the early stages of the investigation, police reached out to people close to Anna, including Colin, since his number appeared in her recent calls and texts. Officers contacted him to let him know Anna had been found dead and to ask about the last time he had seen her. "Hey, Colin, do you know Anna Wilson?" the detective asked. "Yes, everybody calls her Anna. She's a gravel rider, yes I do," Colin replied. "There's really no easy way to say this, so apparently last night she passed away," the detective continued. In that moment, Colin's world collapsed. The woman he had spent a joyful afternoon with, swimming, laughing, and sharing cycling stories, was now gone forever. Austin's network of doorbell cameras and home security systems played a key role in the investigation into Anna's murder. Detectives carefully examined footage from the Maple Avenue area, searching for anything unusual on the night of May 11th. What they discovered was terrifying. A black Jeep Cherokee was seen driving slowly through the neighborhood, circling Cash's house multiple times. The vehicle seemed to be watching, waiting for the right moment to act. Then, around 8:45 p.m., just 15 minutes after Colin had dropped Anna off, the cameras captured chilling sounds. A woman screaming through the night. The screams suddenly stopped. Minutes later, the black Jeep was seen speeding away from the area. When detectives went to question Colin Strickland at his home, he admitted he had been one of the last people to see Anna alive, but insisted he had never entered Caitlin Cash's house. Luckily, investigators already had footage from Cash's doorbell camera, which confirmed Colin's account. After dropping Anna off that evening, he had quickly left on his motorbike. While at Colin's residence, detectives spotted something that sent a chill through them. A black Jeep Cherokee, the same type seen on the neighborhood security cameras, was parked in his driveway, but it wasn't his. The Jeep is hers. My girlfriend Caitlin, Colin said when he was asked about the car. Suddenly, the investigation gained its first serious suspect, Caitlin Armstrong, Colin's on-and-off girlfriend who was aware of his past with Anna Moriah Wilson. Caitlin Marie Armstrong was born in 1987 in Livonia, Michigan. She spent her early years in Michigan before moving to Texas, where she became active in Austin's cycling and fitness scene. Caitlin worked as a yoga instructor, teaching at multiple studios, and was known for encouraging wellness and outdoor activities. She was also involved in real estate and sometimes assisted with local cycling events and races. In 2019, Caitlin and Colin crossed paths through Austin's cycling community, where both were active. Colin was a professional gravel and mountain bike racer, while Caitlin practiced yoga and cycled as an amateur, often joining local rides and events. Their mutual passion for fitness, endurance sports, and outdoor activities brought them into the same social circle, where they got to know each other and eventually began dating. The couple lived together in Austin and even started a small business focused on cycling and wellness. Their relationship was rocky, and at one point they briefly split. During that time, Colin became romantically involved with Anna for a short period. When Caitlin found out, she quickly reached out to Anna, warning her to stay away from Colin. She even called Anna so many times that Anna ended up blocking her number. Eventually, Colin and Caitlin got back together, but Colin and Anna continued communicating as friends, which created tension between Caitlin and Anna. Colin was still secretly keeping in touch with Anna, even saving her number under a different name in his phone so Caitlin wouldn't know they were still talking. On May 11th, Caitlin was going through Colin's laptop when she came across a message from Anna sent that morning. It said, "Hey, so I would like to talk to you at some point. I had originally texted you on Friday, but it appears my texts aren't going through again. This weekend was strange to me and I just want to know what's going on. If you just want to be friends, which seems to be the case, then that's cool, but I'd like to talk about it because honestly my mind had been going in circles and I don't know what to think." After getting this message from his ex, Colin had arranged the pool outing and they spent the day together. Colin and Anna had no idea that Caitlin Armstrong had been trailing them that day, observing their every move. When Colin dropped Anna off at Cash's house that evening, Caitlin was nearby, hiding and watching from the shadows. Once Colin left, she acted quickly to carry out her revenge. Although it's still unknown how Caitlin got into the house, she managed to fire 3 shots at Anna, leaving her fatally wounded before fleeing the scene in her car. Although the camera footage was already strong evidence, the case against Caitlin grew even stronger when a friend came forward with a tip to the police. The friend revealed that in the days leading up to the murder, Caitlin had expressed anger toward Anna and said she wanted to kill her. She also shared that Caitlin had mentioned going to a gun range with her sister to practice shooting sometime before Anna's death. The gun had been purchased by her then-boyfriend in December 2021, where Colin had bought 2 firearms, one for himself and one for Caitlin for self-defense. At the time, the friend hadn't thought much of Caitlin's words, but when Anna's murder made the news, she immediately had an idea who was responsible. The day after the killing, police arrested Caitlin on an unrelated matter involving Botox treatments she had received but hadn't paid for. It wasn't until they ran her license plate that they realized they had a potential murder suspect in custody. She stayed silent when questioned about why the shell casings from her gun matched the bullets found at the crime scene. It wasn't until investigators brought up Colin's connection with Anna that she finally reacted, rolling her eyes and referring to Anna dismissively as "that girl." Detective Connor then questioned Caitlin about Colin spending time with Anna and how that had upset her. Caitlin responded by turning her head and rolling her eyes in frustration. Caitlin said that she wasn't sure what the detective meant or what Colin had told them, and that she had no idea he had recently seen or gone out with Anna. When asked about her car being spotted near Cash's house and about things Colin had supposedly said, Detective Connor explained that she wanted Caitlin's help in providing a clear account and a reasonable explanation for why her vehicle was in the area. Connor added, "Maybe you were upset and just happened to be nearby," and Caitlin began nodding in agreement. From the way she acted and spoke, investigators realized they were dealing with Anna's killer. Unfortunately, during the questioning, it came to light that Caitlin's warrant was invalid due to an error in entering her date of birth. This meant much to the frustration of law enforcement, that she had to be released. Once she left the police station, Caitlin immediately began planning her escape. By the following day, she had sold her Jeep and gone on the run, disappearing completely from sight. For nearly 2 months, investigators worked around the clock to locate Caitlin and bring her to justice. They eventually discovered that she hadn't just left the state, she had already left the country. CCTV footage from Newark International Airport showed her boarding a flight on May 18th to San Jose, Costa Rica, using her sister's passport to aid in her escape. Fortunately, Costa Rican authorities cooperated fully with the FBI to track her down. After 43 days on the run, Caitlin was finally caught on June 29, 2022, at Santa Teresa Beach, a remote spot favored by those looking to vanish. While on the run, Caitlin had plastic surgery to change her appearance, hoping to make it harder for authorities to identify her. She moved between several hostels using different fake names each time. Despite her efforts to stay hidden, law enforcement eventually caught up with her. At the time of her arrest, Caitlin had a bandaged nose, colored contact lenses, and freshly dyed hair. Even after being taken into custody, she tried unsuccessfully to convince officers that they had the wrong person. She was extradited back to Texas and pleaded not guilty to Anna's murder. Caitlin was held on a $3.5 million bail while awaiting trial. When her trial began in October 2023, Caitlin claimed she had altered her appearance and fled the country not out of guilt, but to avoid the real killer, her ex, Colin Strickland. On October 12, 2023, she was escorted by officers for a medical appointment outside the jail. While in the medical facility, she entered a restroom, attempted to escape by climbing through a bathroom window, and jumped to the ground, landing hard on the pavement. She ran for about a block before officers caught up with her roughly 10 minutes later. During the pursuit, one officer was injured, resulting in an additional felony charge of escape causing bodily injury. When Caitlin Armstrong's murder trial started in November 2023, prosecutors laid out a case that was both thorough and damning. The physical evidence included security footage showing her car near the crime scene, ballistics linking her gun to the murder weapon, and shell casings marked with her firearm's unique firing pin. Digital evidence placed her at the scene showed her phone was deliberately turned off during the time of the murder and included flight records documenting her fraudulent escape to Costa Rica. Testimonial evidence also played a key role, featuring Colin Strickland's account of their troubled relationship, Caitlin Cash's testimony about discovering Anna's body, and multiple witnesses describing Caitlin's jealous behavior. On November 16, 2023, after a little over 2 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered their verdict. Caitlin Armstrong was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 90 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 30 years, at which point she will be 65. As the verdict was announced, Anna's family finally received the justice they had been seeking. However, no sentence could restore the life of the vibrant young woman whose future had been tragically ended by jealousy and obsession. Anna Moriah Wilson was more than a murder victim. She was a promising professional cyclist with ambitions to compete at the top levels. Her death shook the close-knit cycling community, where most people knew one another. Friends remembered Anna as exceptionally talented, yet humble, always ready to support newcomers, someone who embraced life fully and inspired those around her. Her murder exposed the darker side of relationships, jealousy, and the tragic results when obsession becomes violent. It's heartbreaking to think about the pain and loss caused by this tragic case. Anna's life was full of promise, yet it was stolen in a moment of jealousy and rage. As we reflect on this case, our thoughts are with the victim whose life was so cruelly taken, and the grieving loved ones whose lives were forever changed by this senseless act. If you found this video compelling, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.